11 Cup Series weekends are already locked in for 2027, and NASCAR hasn't even released the full calendar yet. The Clash is coming home to the Daytona Oval for the first time since 2021. But the announcement that quietly rewrites the entire chase involves a road course in upstate New York, and almost nobody is talking about the damage it's going to do to certain playoff contenders. Let's start where the season starts, because Daytona International Speedway went first and went big. Speedwix, presented by Advent Health, kicks off Saturday, February 13th with the newly christened Wheatley Vodka Clash, and that Saturday night placement is no accident. It lands the night before the Super Bowl, which means NASCAR is deliberately parking its preseason exhibition inside the biggest sports weekend on the American calendar. The last time the Clash ran at Daytona was 2021, and that year it was run on the road course configuration. This time it's back on the high banks of the oval, where pack racing and bump drafting turn a meaningless exhibition into genuine sheet metal crumpling chaos. The format and eligibility rules are still being finalized, so hold your predictions for now. From there, Speedwix unfolds exactly the way longtime fans want it to. Daytona 500 qualifying, presented by Busch Light, runs Wednesday, February 17th. The dual races follow on Thursday the 18th. The Craftsman Truck Series takes Friday the 19th, with the Fresh from Florida 250. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Series and ARCA share Saturday the 20th. And then Sunday, February 21st, delivers the 69th running of the Daytona 500. Daytona also confirmed its summer return, with the Coke Zero Sugar 400 running Saturday night, August 28th. Atlanta's announcement is where this gets fun for the short money teams. Echo Park Speedway confirmed both of its 2027 weekends, and the Craftsman Truck Series is coming along for both of them for the first time since 2008. Because the trucks have been shut out of one of those Georgia weekends for 18 consecutive years. The Cup Series runs the Auto Trader 400 on Sunday, February 28th, as the second points race of the season on Fox, then returns for the Dollar Tree 400 on Sunday, July 18th on TNT. That mile-and-a-half Georgia Oval has been throwing superspeedway-style pack racing at drivers on an intermediate footprint ever since the reconfiguration, and it has been part of NASCAR's top division continuously since 1960. Circuit of the Americas locked in Sunday, March 7th for the Duramax Texas Grand Prix, which makes it 7 consecutive years of Cup cars, grinding through the elevation change in Austin. Phoenix Raceway grabbed the March 12th through 14th weekend, sharing the bill with IndyCar, then locked down the October 22nd through 24th playoff weekend with the Freeway Insurance 500 on Sunday, the 24th. Phoenix bookending the season with a triple header on both ends tells you exactly how much equity that flat 1-mile desert oval has built up. Texas Motor Speedway takes April 30th through May 2nd for another all-three series triple header. There's one more confirmed date that deserves far more attention than it's getting. The Craftsman Truck Series is returning to the streets of St., running the 1.8-mile temporary circuit alongside IndyCar's Firestone Grand Prix weekend. That follows the series' first ever visit to the Florida street course in 2026, when Lane Riggs muscled his way to the victory. Full-size racing pickups threading between concrete barriers on a downtown city street should not work as well as it does, and yet NASCAR is doubling down on it. Paid close attention to the broadcast partners attached to these dates, because they quietly explain how the entire season gets carved up. Fox Sports carries Daytona and the whole spring block through Texas in early May. TNT Sports inherits the July stretch, including that Atlanta night race. USA takes the late summer and postseason run, beginning with the Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona. Every scheduling decision NASCAR makes gets filtered through those television windows first. Now the big one. Watkins Glen International is moving out of its May slot and into September. This single change reshapes championship strategy more than any other date on this list. Charlotte Motor Speedway shifted its fall race off the Roval and onto the oval for 2026, which stripped the postseason of a road course entirely. Watkins Glen puts one right back, and it does it early, while the field is still 16 deep and every driver is scrambling. Picture a playoff contender who built his entire season around ovals suddenly staring down the S's at the Glen with his championship hopes riding on a discipline he barely practices. Road course specialists just became the most valuable free agents in the garage. Teams that treated road course programs as an afterthought are now going to burn simulator hours and testing budget on turning left and right, and the crew chiefs who nailed fuel-saving strategy at the Glen in previous years are suddenly worth their weight in sponsorship money. And Watkins Glen is only the opening act of the playoff shakeup. Reporting from The Athletic indicates Bristol Motor Speedway's night race is coming out of the chase and heading back to a regular season August date, which is exactly where it lived from 1976 through 2019. Darlington Raceway and Worldwide Technology Raceway outside St. Louis are also expected to lose their postseason slots. Pulling that Bristol night race out of the playoffs is going to enrage a large section of this fan base, and I completely understand why. Concrete, sparks, and 50,000 screaming people packed into a half-mile bowl is postseason theater at its absolute finest. But shifting it to August hands it back to the casual fan who doesn't track points, and short-track purists have been begging for New Hampshire and Richmond to matter in the championship picture for years. So what's still genuinely unsettled? Chicago is the messiest question on the entire board. NASCAR is racing somewhere in that market next season, but whether it happens on the purpose-built street circuit winding through Grant Park downtown, at the Chicagoland Speedway Oval in Joliet, or somehow at both, remains undecided. NASCAR Chief Operating Officer Ben Kennedy has publicly floated the idea that the market is strong enough to support two events. Dale Earnhardt Jr. said on his podcast that he's heard both are on the table. Industry sources still consider the double unlikely. San Diego is trending toward a return. NASCAR ran at Naval Base Coronado in June of 2026, and reporting suggests the sport goes back in 2027. North Wilkesboro Speedway is the leading candidate to reclaim the All-Star race after hosting it from 2023 through 2025, then landing a points race this season for the first time in 30 years. And Homestead Miami Speedway is expected to hold championship weekend one more time, with NASCAR's Mike Ford indicating back in February that the sport wants to rotate the finale eventually. Just not quite yet. NASCAR is rebuilding the chase around variety instead of tradition, betting that a road course, a pair of flat one-mile ovals, and a rotating cast of venues manufactures better championship drama than the same predictable August to November March it has run for years. Whether that gamble pays off depends entirely on execution, and nobody knows the answer until the checkered flag falls at Homestead. The complete 2027 schedule is expected to drop this fall. When it does, I'll break down every track that moved, every venue that got cut, and every date that makes zero sense.